Listen, this week we are in for a huge treat. And I know I say that every single week, but I am serious. This week is so much fun. I got to speak with Miss Kristin Stockdale. She is the mastermind behind the conference for bloggers called Haven Conference. I just got back from this event and I cannot tell you enough about how powerfully supportive the people are that participate in this and how powerful the collaborations and connections are that you make during this huge networking event with other bloggers and brands alike. So Kristin is going to tell us a little bit about how she got the idea to have this conference and how you too can participate in it. So listen in as we learn a little more about what goes into the blogger conference, Haven. Hey, my friend, it's Melanie Ferguson, your host of Creatives on Fire, the podcast where I hope to inspire you to create a profitable six-figure following online. So turn it up and listen in to amazing stories of success, along with behind-the-scenes secrets and valuable tips from, you guessed it, Creatives on Fire. Hey, my friend, I want to ask you a quick question. Do you struggle with overwhelm in your business? How about confidence? Or maybe even just knowing what the very next step is that you need to take for you to see the success you desire? I want to invite you to join me over on the inside. This is where your business will benefit from access to powerful, relevant collaborations with other creatives just like you each and every week. You'll have an opportunity to receive motivated messages every single morning, as well as access to multiple live events. These are all tools that are designed to help you grow your business, get you out of overwhelm, boost your confidence, and show you the path to success that you're looking for. I want to encourage you to go check it out today at creativesonfireinsiders.com. I'll see you over there, my friend, on the inside. Welcome back to the podcast. This week is my honor to introduce you guys to Kristen Stockdale. She is the mastermind behind the conference, Haven Conference, where all bloggers come to meet other bloggers, brands, and grow their business. So, Kristen, you have been doing this for quite a while. I'm super excited to have you on. Welcome.
Well, thank you, Melanie. I'm honored to be here and just chat all things up about how wonderful Haven can be for all of y'all's listeners' businesses.
Yay! I'm so excited. We just finished the conference, didn't we?
Yes. And the energy was incredible. We're still just sailing high. It's so great.
It is awesome. So let's dive right into the meat. You've been doing this for about 11 years. That's a long time. You've affected thousands of women's businesses. And what gave you the idea to start having this conference?
So this is a wonderful story. My background is in interior design and the power of DIY when you have that pride of creating something yourself. So I had all of that in me and I started doing events. The few women approached me that had just come off of a very large conference and wanted to niche down for the DIY design bloggers. So I was all in knowing that all of those things were in my wheelhouse. So together, Haven was born. And it was just a beautiful thing from the get-go, gathering like-minded women together. It's just the chatter and the ideas and the collaborations, they just did not stop. And it bloomed into such an amazing, powerful event every year.
Had you done events before this?
Yes. So my interior design business led me to special events for my clients, like large anniversary parties. That then led into corporate events. And then that's where the connection between the original Haven team and I come in, is that's how they found me.
Gotcha. So, do you have a secret to how you make these events so powerful and seamless?
My team. It takes a team to make the dream. And there's a reason that that sounds so cliche. It is so true. The team that stands behind me is amazing. So that's a number one. Two, I absolutely love what I do. So I can pour myself into the minute details, the Excel spreadsheets, what have you, all the Instagram connections, all of that. And I truly love it. So I'm so lucky.
You are, because what comprises your team?
Many of my family. So both my daughters. One is helps me with the back end of the website. One helps me with all the Instagram stories and capturing those. And then my sister and my best friend are hospitality, kind of they hands on at the event, hospitality. And then I have Charlotte Smith, who helps with a lot of the ideas during the conference, like the regional meetups and a lot of the additional kind of fun networking events that go on during the conference. And then Carianne, of course, leads up our mentor program, which is an integral part of the Haven Maven experience.
I agree. So, tell me, for those who have never attended a Haven, tell me a little bit about the um, concept of the mentors.
Yes. So Haven can be extremely overwhelming. We mostly tend to live in a virtual world. We work in a virtual environment. And so getting a bunch of folks together can be very intimidating. So we took this idea, the broad Haven idea of empowering women with gathering together like minded women and networking and collaborating, and just narrowed it down into small groups. So now instead of walking into a room of 500 women, you're walking into a small group of about 15, and then it's led by somebody that's seasoned. They've been to Haven a couple times, they understand our mission, but they also have been in the social media platform for a while. So they know, all they can anticipate the questions and the anxiety and all of that. So it just really makes the experience richer.
Yes, I loved having a mentor. This was my first year to attend your conference, and I was blown away by how professional everything was. And the mentor program was one of my favorite things. It's a great way to connect with others
Yes.
in a small group environment when conferences can be pretty big and overwhelming. So I love that you came up with that concept.
Yes, it is. It's a powerful one because we can be bold and we can think, yes, I'm going to walk in and I'm going to be bold and I'm going to present well, but it can be scary to many.
Right? So, how do you decide what's going to come next for Haven?
So every year we try to have kind of a tag word. This year was empower. So the concept of all ships rise up with a tide was kind of our underlying theme, and empower incorporated that. So every year we kind of come up with some word that everything goes back to. It's kind of like your why. We strongly know our why. So we find a word that can kind of encapsulate that and then make sure everything we do leans back on that word, if that makes sense.
Yes, totally. So, what is Haven's why?
So, our mission is to empower women by providing learning capability, because learning is power, knowledge is power, connections. Your community is power. It gives you the support when you need it. And then all those collaborations with brands, it just supports. So, the main mission really is to empower women to create a life that they can start having freedoms.
Yes, I love that. Let me ask you, since you brought up brands, tell us how you got started with the brands aspect of the conference. And it's such an exciting and pivotal part. I think it's a huge draw that people have the opportunity to actually meet human beings behind the faces of these brands and maybe get their toe in the door with some collaborations. So tell us a little more about the brands.
Yes, absolutely. So many trade shows you'll go to, you're going to meet the sales team. At Haven, you're meeting the social digital marketing teams for the most part. And that is powerful because, just like you said, once you build that connection and a relationship with this particular contact, you now have an in. Your email isn't going to be just in a sea of 50 to thousands of other emails. They're going to recognize that's Melanie. I met her at Haven. Oh, she was really special. And they're going to actually respond to you. And that's how the relationships start. So it is extremely powerful. And how we differentiate that with when we're speaking to brands that are brand new coming to Haven, we make it just very clear that they're not, our people are just as excited to meet them and collaborate with them as they are. And it's not, they're not looking to buy anything. They're actually looking to create collaborations for marketing.
Right. And I think that that is huge. And I know this year you actually had a keynote speaker that was from an HGTV personality. So tell us a little bit about your keynotes that you have for the events.
Yes, we always try to, dazzle with the keynote. So Brian Patrick Flynn was really fun. He was a terrific speaker. And last year we had Egypt Sherrod. It does seem, and in several years we've had HGTV stars. HGTV is just it's what we all love, right? We all are into that media and that information. What I really am looking for when I talk to the speakers originally is just to inspire. I want the mavens out there in the crowd to be able to kind of see themselves in the person up on the stage. So sharing their original stories, their original starts, their background is really important. And then just to kind of share some back, like how Brian did with us about, photography tips and that's his thing, and just some background information that's kind of fun and we feel like insiders.
Yes, I love that. And so you actually call your attendees Haven Mavens.
Yes.
Where did that come from?
I love it. Probably came from actually not even me, to be honest. Probably one of the original team gals, but I love a rhyme. I love a double entendre. I am all about it. So it's so cute to me and I just love it. So I'm hanging on to it.
I love that too. So, Kristen, what if I was new and I am new and I just attended the conference for the first time? Do you recommend, like, what should I do now? Now that I've talked to some of the brands, I didn't get to talk to all of the brands. What should I do with the information that I learned there to keep me from being overwhelmed and to take action?
Yes. Oh, excellent. Okay. So if you took any kind of notes, go back over those. Don't put a whole lot of pressure on yourself. Go back over, extract what you know you can do first. So go back over your notes, one class at a time, taking a day per class. Extract what you know you can do, implement it. As soon as you know you've accomplished that, choose to go deeper into that one class or go to the next class and do the same thing. And extract all the information that you know that you have not been doing, but you know you can do. Knock that out first. At that point, or even maybe before, maybe I wasn't chronological, but find some groups. I know Kari leads an amazing group. We have a Maven Mastermind group. There's so many groups out there. Facebook has a plethora. So if you want to narrow down your niche even more, if you paint furniture and that's pretty much all you do and you want to sell that, find that group on Facebook. Plug in to groups because that is going to be your support, and support is priceless. So
I
that's
agree.
one or two, however you want to look at it. So then when you start going through, once you've extracted what you know you can do on your own, lean into that support. Gather a little bit more information, maybe sign on for a course if it's photography. Sign up for an in-depth photography course. Implement all of that. Lean into that support that is out there for those things that you can't do. But definitely filter through everything that you've learned and take the time for yourself.
Yes, I agree. And I have to put in a little plug. I have a group as well. It is a piggyback to the podcast here. It's called Creatives on Fire Insiders. And it's just a group of female entrepreneurs that collaborate on a weekly basis. So if you are interested in that, I'm dropping that little plug here.
Yes, it is so important, ladies.
Yes, it is. The connection with others is huge. You never know who you've never known is going to take you to places you've never been. So I love that.
Oh, so true.
Kristen, what about the brands that we met? Is there something we should be doing right now?
So, yes, if you've made a connection, if you really feel good about a personal connection, I would say this week, no later than noonish tomorrow, jump out there, reach out to them, say how wonderful it was to meet them. You might even say, hey, if you know this brand is working on exterior things for the fall, you might say, hey, by the way, I'm about to plan my exterior fence for this fall. What do you think about collaborating with me? But be really cheery, uplifting, tell them how wonderful they are. It's really important that you lift people up before asking them for something.
Right. And they want to hear from us, right?
Exactly. They are there. They are at Haven because of you. So they know with full confidence that they want you to reach out. They would not be at Haven if they did not want to grow their social. So that without a doubt. And then we also are working on our email with a survey and a few links to some of the, we call them virtual booths that were there. They were just unmanned for whatever reason. Lots of folks were on corporate travel bans and that type of thing. So we're going to be sending a bunch of direct contacts via email this afternoon or tomorrow morning as well.
Kristen, what inspires you when things get hard?
Oh, that's good. That's really good. So I think back, so this year and a half has been hard for Haven, like it has everyone. And when there's a part of me that just wants to throw my hands up in the air and say, I just I can't force a square peg into a round hole. I can't. And I don't have the abilities to do whatever this task is requiring me to do. I think back at all the mavens that have reached out, sent me emails, and said how powerful of a change Haven made. And just like you said earlier, you don't know when that door is going to open, but for many women, it has opened at Haven. And then they brought the talent with them. Haven didn't give them the talent. They brought the talent, but there was a platform there and they walked through it. And all those stories just keeps me going and going and going, even when I want to quit. So I'm so appreciative for people sharing their stories with me.
That's awesome. And I love that you said that, they bring their talent. So it's all these women coming together for one cause with their own individual talents.
Yes.
And that is how there's so much power behind it.
Yes.
What would you recommend to anyone who's considering going to Haven the next time it opens up?
Yes. So all the things. I would definitely have a blog. If you don't have a blog, go out there and get your domain as nothing else. Grab a domain, get all your socials in line, business cards, all of those things. Maybe have a bag with your logo printed. Have your clothes so they represent who you are as a brand. Oh gosh, let's see. I think just starting to build all so you are ready for what you're going to learn.
Exactly. Be ready. Always be ready. Ready to take action.
Yes.
So when do Haven 22 or 2022 tickets go for sale?
So we normally release in March, but we are talking, I've never been this energized. This past Haven has truly catapulted me off the cliff. I mean, I'm so full of energy, so stoked to be starting to even plan 2022. This has never happened before. So we're actually starting to get a jump on lots of things and thinking we may sell tickets around December. So they might be able to
Wow.
be Christmas presents or that type of thing. But normally it's March.
That is so exciting. What do you think was the difference with this conference versus all the others?
Well, I do think that a huge amount was being able to gather together in person again after being locked up, for so long. I think that's a huge part of it. So that really has nothing to do with Haven per se, but this year was powerful because we have worked so hard to create unity and inclusivity. And I think that we, really accomplished some big goals. We had some big goals starting in 2017, 2018, and we saw those starting to really come to life, and it filled our cup very full.
You nailed it. You nailed it. I
Yeah,
think you nailed it.
thank
So,
you.
having attended personally, I definitely think you nailed it. Kristen, where can we find you? Where can we find more about Haven Conference?
So, havenconference.com. You can find all the good stuff there. And then we would love to answer any kind of personal questions at haventeam@havenconference.com. We can, email is always a good way to reach us. Instagram, our handle is at Haven Conference, and you can DM us there. Facebook, we have a Haven Maven Facebook group that's private, and then Haven Conference page.
Fabulous. Fabulous. Well, I can't wait for all the listeners to run out and get a blog if you don't already have one. And if you have one, definitely check out all of the places Kristen just mentioned that showcase the Haven Conference. So you can find out more and join us next year.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me.
You're so welcome, Kristen. Thank you. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, my friend, for listening to the podcast. I'm blessed every single time you come back and listen to an episode. It's especially amazing when you share it with others on social media. So be sure to follow Creatives on Fire online. Listen, if you have not already done so, I want you to go ahead and download the 5 ideas I personally used to explode my online audience growth to a 6-figure following. You can find that at creativesonfirepodcast.com. I appreciate you, and until next time, stay inspired.